Big market sell-off in the last 24 hours. We hit some massive levels. BTC now floating at 61K. I see we've got a short-term bounce, but is this the bottom or are we still in danger? Guys, I'm a little bit concerned. There's a couple of things I want to talk to you guys about today on BTC. There's a couple of signals out there telling us that we might be seeing some more downside. We need to be more prepared about it. We can enjoy these little moves to the upside, but we got a lot to talk about today, guys. There's lots incoming, and I've got tons of altcoins that hit great zones yesterday. Are they going to hold? Watch the show. Let's get right into this. And remember, if you are enjoying the dump, hit the like button. If you're enjoying Uptober, hit the like button. How's your Uptober going at the moment? Look at this. We got a new AI, a human here. He's wearing the goggles, but he's now an AI inside the goggles. I mean, this is getting complicated here for me. So here is the likes bouncer. Do what you guys need to do for the man. And I've got a special guest. He's bringing a Pendle setup. I grabbed him out of Sniper Club. I woke him up. Look at this man. The legend is here. He's bringing so much action today. Okay, so let's talk about Banter Bubbles. Look at this W wormhole. Do you remember? We got a wormhole position. It must have been 10 days ago. This thing's absolutely ripped. So I'm covering this chart today for you guys as well. I'm going to show you where I'm going to exit my position if things start falling over. But so far, great pumpage on that. CFX, we did touch on that one. It was a Chinese narrative play. That one is looking good. And then dog shit everywhere else. Look at Lido, -8. I'm stopped out of that thing. Celestia, -5. No surprises there. And, all over the place, except Sui. The one I'm trying to short is up 4% today. It's so irritating. So we're going to deal with all of these things. And let's take a look at BTC quickly here and see what is going on now on the 4 hours. So pretty little picture. Okay, nice, clean looking chart here. And yesterday we were identifying a couple of hot zones where we were looking for a bounce. So the first area that we were watching yesterday for the bounce zone was the 62K region. You can see we had big horizontal band here. We had a 382. There were multiple reasons there why we were looking for a reaction. Then we identified our next big area. And, the next big fallout zone for me was the anchored VWAP from the September dumps. It was the 50-day moving average, and it was this big 382 band here at around about 61K. So they sent us down to the 50-day moving average, 60,300. Pinged that puppy and sent it straight back up. So another reason to make sure you have the 50-day MA on your chart. So what you can do for today is use this 50-day MA as your major support. We can also see Bitcoin has printed a higher low so far. So that could be 60,550 that you guys could use there for current support for BTC. So that is what I'm watching now. Okay, we can see the market, the S&P is bouncing, oil is dumping, and there's a slight bounce here in the crypto market. Now, what am I concerned about? Well, number one, you can see we've lost our rising trend. So this was our bullish trend that we've been enjoying the ride. Everyone was talking about something called easy mode. Okay, and it did feel like that. Anything you opened started printing. You started feeling like a legendary trader. Anything you touched started going higher. So, it was a nice little vibe. It was a nice little vibe, wasn't it? And now, okay, now we're playing the bear market game again. Okay, we've lost the rising trend, so we are in a little bit of danger now. So the first thing I want to suggest here, or the first thing I want to look out for, any form of pumpage here in the market, we need to be suspicious about it because we are sitting under major horizontals here. We've got the 200-day moving average. We've also got a 618 bounce play here, and we've got a big liquidity region up here. I'm going to show you that liquidity map in a minute. And what I'm looking for here is any pumpage out of Bitcoin. If we do send it higher, I'm expecting a rejection. Anything up to the 64K level. Okay, that is the current plan here. And this is now the sentiment here because we've lost this rising trend. Okay, so now we need to look at things a little bit more from a bearish perspective until we start breaking through big, strong, bullish levels. So for me, we could have a situation here where we're now starting a downtrend lower. Okay, and things could potentially get ugly. We don't want to see it down there. And naturally, these macro conditions can change quite quickly. We know we've got a war situation brewing at the moment. So there's a lot going on from that perspective. Okay, so that is slightly challenging, and markets hate uncertainty. So the minute we know, there's clarity on what is happening with this war, and everything like that, then I would expect things to start recovering quite quickly. So right now we have to wear bear hats. Okay, that is why I'm wearing the white hat, and I think I hit it 5 times in a row. We wore that white hat on Monday and the market started falling over. So we know this white hat is a dangerous thing, and it's a dangerous animal. So upside, what am I looking at? 63 to 64K. Watch this region. This is a big rejection zone for me. If we hit that region, that is where I'm going to TP my existing BTC scalp. I'm going to show you that position in a second. And how do we turn bullish? If we start breaking through that region and we start finding support above the 200-day MA, then we can say, okay, things are starting to look a little bit more interesting here. And then we're going to start sending it up. And then our target is going to be the 68K, 69K region. But until we get above that 200-day MA, I am concerned. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit uncomfortable here with where things are sitting. Okay, so here is my current situation. They nearly came last night and exited me out of that ETH position. I would have been so unhappy. And I mean, I think this ETH trade, they came to within like $500 or something on this position to exiting me on ETH. And, right now I have survived it. So my ETH stop loss is sitting at about 2,380, somewhere in that region. I'm going to show you that ETH chart if anyone else is trading ETH at the moment. And you can see I'm currently in a BTC scalp here on Prime XBT. And I played this little breakout game here. We started collecting a little bit here at the lows, and we started sending it higher and just started adding as we went up. Now you can see we are at a resistance area. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my stop to just under that 618 fib. So you can see why that 618 is a nice little reaction zone for us. I'm just going to put my stop just under that 618 fib there. And then if we do come lower now, I'm going to get stopped out in profit. So my stop is 60,969. That's just under a 618 pool there if there is some kind of rejection now in the market. So that is the current game plan. You would have noticed now some of your alts have been bouncing. We're going to talk about all of those in detail. Just be patient. We got tons to get through today. But first things first, let's get into... before we get into the news, Uncle wants me to show you. I mean, I don't know if you guys know. Ray, do you know that I have quite a big package? Wait, Bruce, do you know I have a big package?
TMI. Okay, yes, I believe you have a big package.
Just talking about this. Wait,
okay.
Just talking about this. Okay, so Uncle's doing a deal with Ledger. They've done a special offer for us, and he said, I'm gonna show you guys my big package. So here's my big package, okay? And big packages and a little thing inside it, a little ledger, okay? And there's a current offer here from Banter. They partnered with Ledger, and there's a chance if you buy a ledger using the link in the show description here, there's a chance you're gonna get a second or third one sent to you as well. Very simple game. I see 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗪. I did show you my package, bro. You've seen it. So guys, jump in here. There's a you wanted me to show everyone my package. I mean, what must I do? Okay, so jump into the show link. Okay, if you buy from this link in the description, okay, there's a chance they're going to send you another ledger. Okay, and this offer is limited until Friday. I think Friday this offer gets closed. Okay, it's as simple as that. And you can see there's multiple options here that you can play with. There's a one at the bottom there, Ledger Nano, $79 player. So grab that link. It's all in the show description for you guys. And we're going to talk. Look at that. There's Baked. I'm talking to you guys about Baked today as well. There's things happening there. Okay. So who feels like this? This really is crypto traders. World War III breaks out. And this is basically me and Ray after the show. I mean, this is absolute comedy. But this is how we do it. We love the volatility. We love this type of action. So things are looking good, but Uptober is not looking good. Okay, so here's this CoinGlass map that you guys can get. It's available on CoinGlass for anybody, and you can just log in there and you can see. So Uptober is not going well. Okay, we minus 3% at the moment for Uptober. Let's see if that improves. This would be an outlier. If Uptober finishes red, it would be an outlier considering the current conditions. Now, our plan was always some kind of sell-off here in early October. I do think we finish higher come the end of October. So I'm not worried from a big macro perspective. I'm not concerned. Obviously, right now in the interim, we need to deal with things. If there's another pullback, I suspect it's going to happen in the next week. In the next 10 days, we're going to know where the bottom is of this move. And then we're going to start pushing things a little bit higher. So right now, Uptober, not looking great. Okay, minus 3%. And Milk Road just had a nice little tweet to sum up everything for you guys, okay? He said there's a curveball here. War in the Middle East, okay? The dock workers strike in the US that we know about, and there's a hurricane, apparently, okay? He says, but remember, this is not the time to panic, okay? We're still getting FTX. There's still a 50 basis point rate cut coming. Chinese money printer is going nuts. We know elections are within a month. So, this falls perfectly in line, okay? With the powers that be dumping it, get some good entries, and then send it higher going into November, December, and those types of things. So, Uptober. Who said that, right? Who said that? So yeah, overall, we don't want to be too bearish about the situation. I think, this is a nice little map as well. And I think if you watched Uncle's show just now, he might have used this one as well. But James van Straten, he says, stick this to your wall and come back in 60 days. Basically, what they're saying here is what happens to S&P, gold, Bitcoin after major geopolitical events, okay? 60-day return on BTC. Look at that. It's always up within 60 days. So there is some kind of panic initially. Look what happens after 10 days, okay? There's some kind of panic, but a lot of the time this thing ends up flat or green, okay? So it's nothing really to be too concerned about. But naturally, like I was saying yesterday, Bogdan, we're dealing with the SUI. But like I was saying yesterday, it's how do we get there? We were all expecting this massive, big quarter four. But I mean, they're not like that. We know we had the dump July, we had the dump August, we had the dump early September. Why weren't they going to sell off early October as well? And now we are getting exactly what history's repeating itself. So one of the first indicators for me, and one of the first scary charts that you guys want to look at is the VIX. Okay, this is the volatility index. And what do we know? We know when the VIX pumps, okay, all markets shit the bed, okay, basically. Well, except oil, okay, oil seems to run quite nicely. So the VIX started pumping, and we can see whenever there's been a situation where the VIX has pumped, the markets have been in trouble, crypto's been in trouble, the S&P has been in trouble. I mean, who remembers this? In August, when we had the Japanese carry trade, that was a disaster. Then we had the September situation as well. And now October, we've had a sell-off in October, and that VIX is pumping. So interesting here for me at the moment for the VIX. I'm watching this one currently. I want to see this VIX start closing under that 50-day MA. If we do get that push there, then I think it's all systems go again and things start churning up for us. But for now, eyes on this VIX, okay? If this thing starts spiking, it is a warning bell. It is a warning sign for us, and that there could be a little bit of danger in the markets. And those of you that traded oil, look, we hit our target. Okay, this is US oil. We hit our target that we gave yesterday, and like clockwork, this thing just rejecting at a simple little horizontal band. Look at that ping, and off she goes back down. So it remains to be seen what happens here now with oil. If there's more war news and things like that, I expect oil to start churning a little bit higher. We'll have to keep our eyes on the headlines and make sure we know exactly what is going on there with the war situation. But right now, oil is falling back over here, and let's see how that one is going to play out. And then the S&P, well, nothing seems to keep this one down at the moment. So we've had a nice little retest. As you can see, yesterday we dipped into a nice little zone here, and right now this is our horizontal. So this is our marker, 5,650. We're still watching this one as support, and naturally, if we don't print a new high here on the S&P, then it might just be the start of some kind of downtrend here on that S&P. So we just need to keep our eyes on this one as we go. But right now, 5,650, nothing too serious at the moment for us to really, no panic stations. Okay, now, this is what I was saying today. Now, there is something else we need to deal with. I said, anyone keen on a gap fill? Ray, are you keen on a gap fill, bro? And, this is a reality here for us. There's a CME gap, okay, that everybody seems to have forgotten about. And unfortunately, the thing with these things when they are super low down is when we start losing levels, suddenly people start, they start coming out of the woodwork and they start saying, hang on. We've actually got a situation down here. And if we're doing all this work coming so close to these types of gaps, why wouldn't they come and fill the CME gap? So take a look at this. This is the CME 5-minute chart. And I've zoomed into the 5 minutes because I wanted to show you the size of this gap that is sitting here. This was the gap that was left after that September dump on the 6th. And we had a massive pump after that. So there's a gap here from 54,500. down to about 53K. And now we know the story with gaps. quite often they get filled. Not every single time. Now, we know there are outliers and there are cases where they could take years to get filled, but there's a lot of the time these gaps do get filled. Now, we are so close to this gap. We're probably 10% away. Why wouldn't they come and just fill this gap? So I just want to keep that one on the radar as well. And that could potentially be playing out in this current downtrend that I've now spoken about on BTC. So best we start reclaiming these bullish levels, or we might have a situation like that. I mean, at 57K, we're going to be really shitting ourselves. We're going to be saying, okay, no, this gap is now becoming a reality. Okay, so right now for me, short-term bounce potentially in play. Big resistance band, 63 to 64K. Look out there. Okay, big danger up there. If you guys are scalping, you're doing those types of things, that for me is a TP zone. Okay, on Bitcoin, I'm taking profits in that area if we do ping into that zone, and then we'll see how it plays out after that. Remember, when the market turns bullish, you're going to get this easy mode again, okay, that you experienced last week. Okay, you can't force it. So if we are in a downtrend like that and you're trying to force the same size positions, you're trying to force all these types of things, you're just going to get chopped up. Okay, we need to come back when there's super bullish conditions. So if you are trying new trades and things, don't ape. Okay, just go smaller size. Let's plan these things. Look for trend breaks, those types of things. When we get that momentum in again in the market, you will know about it because it will be pumping like it was, okay, last week, and you will get your opportunity again. And limit says we won't see the gap fill this time. We too bullish. limit, bro, let's hope we don't see that gap fill, okay? And but you know what? We have to put it there. If the information is there, I'm sharing it with you, okay? The information is there, and that is what we need to do. Okay, so CME gap we've dealt with, you know it's there, okay? It's something we need to watch. That's why I've left it permanently on my chart. And then just a little touch here on the moons from yesterday. Now, Bruce, do you like the moons? I mean, the moons don't lie.
I like the moons more than CME gaps, but
well, I mean, I pulled this out yesterday. 8 out of 9 of these blue moons sounded lower. Okay, so yeah, no, I mean, here's our blue moon.
You can argue with moons.
You can't argue with the moon. I mean, we're doing some kind of astrology for men here anyway.
And we have 2 moons right now. Do you know that?
No, I don't. This sounds horrific.
Apparently, I saw this on the news. We've captured an asteroid that's the size of a bus that's traveling around like a moon right now for about 2 months.
Bearish.
So, blue moon, 2 moon, I don't know.
Okay. Well, guys, look, it's there. Okay, 8 out of 9 times this moon centered lower. Okay, we saw the start of this moon yesterday. I spoke about it. We had a dump. Maybe that's the end of the dump. Maybe we climb higher from here. Bruce is bringing us Pendle. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, subject to likeage. This man, make him happy. Okay, so let's talk BTC on the daily, and a nice little picture for anybody trading spot, the low leverage guys, the guys that sleep well at night, not in major leverage positions and things like that. Look at this perfect little retest here of our 61 zone down to 60K. That was our 50-day moving average. We've now reclaimed the 100-day MA. So from this perspective on the daily, all is well until you ride into 63K. Okay, let's see what happens here on the daily at 63K. If we start rejecting there, then we know our next potential bounce zone on the daily, 57,800. Very simple game plan here. If we do push higher, we break the 200-day MA. We're looking for consolidation, then we send it up. Okay, very simple, a little system here. 200-day MA, big number, ties in with horizontals, and that's it. Okay, I'm done with Bitcoin, and just some liquidation areas. You can see that 63K region that was hot for me. You can see we've got a liquidation cluster at the highs there, 63,300. Okay, that ties in with resistance at the 200-day MA. So a lot going on to the upside there, guys. And now let's get into altcoins. Okay, we got a lot to talk about here. One of the viewers asked for Cetus. Now, I've taken a look at the Cetus. It's a DEX on Sui. This thing is cooking. Okay, this thing is ripping. There may or may not be an entry coming here for you guys on lower time frames. I did get it ready for you, so we're going to look for an entry there on that Cetus as well. So stick around. We got tons to talk about here. Okay, so the others chart. This is our altcoin representation. It has now done the retest that I've been looking for. Okay, for the last say 7-10 days. This is the retest we were looking at, a bullish retest for me, and it was that $206 billion level. We've now pinged that perfectly. So like I was saying before, these altcoins, we don't want to panic too hard, okay? If we start losing these levels, yes, okay, then things could get pretty dark for us. But right now, a routine retest is in play on others. Okay, so let's hold the $200 billion level there. Then we should be okay on those guys. Dominance is a concern for me. So this is dominance on the daily. And you would have noticed last week and, the week before, your altcoins were ripping because dominance was dumping. Okay, now we have an interesting situation. Okay, the dominance is now moving higher. That's telling us that Bitcoin is starting to potentially outperform some of these altcoins. Okay, so dominance is now breaking through our previous weekly resistance. Okay, if we start breaking through that, that tells me then we could potentially find support here and we could be geared up for a bigger move up on dominance. Now, remember, if Bitcoin is falling over, this dominance could be ripping, okay? And that is not a sign that we want to see for altcoins. If Bitcoin is pumping and the dominance is moving up, it's less stressful, okay? Because we know that these altcoins will be moving up with the market organically anyway as things push up. So eyes on BTC. If it's a dumping BTC and a pumping dominance, not a good look for these altcoins. And this is the time. Now, today, you're going to take a look at some of the levels I'm going to give you on some of these altcoins. You're going to see how I've mapped them out. You can use them on your own altcoins as well, the way I've done it. And then you can start targeting those types of levels. So let's start with a meme coin, okay? Because I called this one on Monday. And this is now the 𝗦𝗘𝗥𝗟𝗓, okay? This thing has done like a 2x. Okay, since I spoke to you guys about this. Ray, was this Monday or yesterday that I spoke about this shitcoin?
Yesterday.
Was it yesterday? Okay, so this thing is looking good, guys. This thing's on a 2x now, okay? Again, it could go to 0. There was a comment. I see Ansem was involved in a comment. It doesn't mean he's involved in the token, but he was involved in a comment where somebody had the dog and Ansem said something about a picture taken or whatever. That may or may not be a sign that he's in it or not in it or whatever, but you can see there's a bit of strength here. This is now 2x from yesterday. All I can suggest is if you did buy this one yesterday, take something out. Take your initials out. If you are 2x up, take something off the table. Make sure you are risk-free now. And then maybe let the rest ride and see how it plays out. But yeah, 5.6 million market cap. Who knows where this thing can go? Could be 0, could be 10, could be 20 million. Yeah, so, that thing's doing its thing so far. And while we're talking about meme coins, there's been a big development on Baked. So those of you around, or those of you who know or don't know of Baked, Baked was a meme coin launched. Okay, when was it? 3 months ago. And, there was a bit of drama about it and they burnt the supply and they did all these types of things. But now there's a system here in play for you guys, okay, to help the Baked community and to help the Baked price and to help the Baked system and everything in plan here. And it's as simple as this, okay? If you sign up and trade on Blowfin, okay, there's a link in the description specifically for Baked. Okay, so if you want to support the Baked community and you trading on Blowfin, for example, use the link in the description. The trading fees, a portion of the trading fees there accumulated for Baked are going to be used to buy Baked and burn the supply forever. Okay, so while you guys are trading there, whatever fees are getting made, they're going to get bought. A portion of those fees are going to buy Baked. They're going to burn the supply. Okay, so that's going to limit the supply, and that could potentially help the price of the token. That could potentially help the token. Okay, so there is something going. Yes, sir.
There's the link right there.
There's the link. There's the link. Ray dropped the link there for you guys. And so, yeah, there could be a couple of things happening there with Baked. And you can see it's now sitting at a $21 million market cap. And look, it's grinding higher because now everybody has heard about the news and what is going to be happening there. So, as long as there's trading fees flowing in and a portion of those fees are going to get used. And if they can do this forever, okay, the supply gets burnt. You guys know the story, okay? Demand, supply, the whole story. Okay, cool. Now, let's go. ETH, I nearly got rinsed. Okay, if anyone else get rinsed in this absolute shitcoin, I've got to commit to this. I don't want to trade ETH again if I get stopped out. Ray, stop me from trading ETH ever again. Okay, please. I don't want to be in this ETH bronus situation. Okay, I nearly got stopped out last night. Here is my entry, 2,401. It's that dotted line. Okay, they nearly came for me. Okay, so I'm going to get stopped out now if ETH drifts just under 2.4. I'm going to get stopped out on ETH, and yeah, I mean, I don't really want to be involved in ETH after that. I'm so upset with it, but yeah, I mean,
I hope it's a higher low. I hope it's a higher low. Then we get the bullhorn going.
I hope it's a higher low, right? Okay, so let's see how this ETH is going to play out. Right now, you can see we are just hanging on to the trend. If we do get some kind of short-term bounce here in the market, let's see how this thing goes. I mean, I'm not super confident that we're going to blow up here and print a new high. Okay, I have my concerns about that. So we'll see. Let's break the 50-day MA. Let's get consolidation above the 50-day MA. Then we can plan this thing. So right now, I want to see 2,500 reclaimed. I want to see 2,500 reclaimed well. Okay, then we can start bringing our stops up under that 2,500 region. Until then, you know, it looks like a sad state of affairs here. So it needs to bounce or they're going to come and stop me out. So ETH players, those are the levels you can play with. And I do have the 618-2355. You know, naturally we could get a bounce there. Okay, but it's going to be without me because they're going to stop me out on this ETH trade. Okay, so we'll see how that goes. Then I've got an update for you on Sol. And this is pretty much the game plan that I gave you guys yesterday. Now, if you look at the game plan on some of these alts that I'm going to show you, you can see the thinking behind this. Okay, we know if we look at Bitcoin, we've got a potential downtrend in play for Bitcoin. And what typically happens here with these altcoins is the first big bounce that you get is quite often the start of your downtrend. Okay, your bearish little downtrend on these altcoins, and then they trend a bit lower, and then eventually we get the bounce we want. Okay, now this sort of happens and these stochastics start resetting and doing all these types of things. So we could be in this very similar situation here where Sol has a short-term bounce, then starts rejecting at the 150 type level, 154, somewhere in that region, and then starts falling over. Okay, so big supports that I would watch again for Sol. I'm still sitting in my Sol position, 140. Okay, that's the big one for me. Then 135.8. That's the big one for me as well. And my average entry on Sol is 131. Okay, so if they come for me at 131, they're also going to end me. Okay, they're going to put me in a very bad mood here at 131. So I'm relying on the 618 bouncing. If we do go to 135, I'm going to add more to my Sol position. I'm going to be looking for that bounce there. And then we'll have to see how this thing plays out. So right now, key supports 140, 135.8, resistance 150, 154. Okay, so nothing has changed there from a Sol perspective. And then Rune, this was an absolute banger. I gave you guys this entry yesterday, 4.5. Okay, while we were dipping into the zone. And look, it's given us the reaction. We got exactly what we want out of this type of hot zone. We've got our anchored VWAP from the September dumps. Look at that. It came into play for us, 4.5. We had a trend as well. And we had the 382 with the horizontal. So we knew that that was most likely going to be a big reaction zone for Rune. Now, what happens after that? Again, it remains to be seen. That's why we can play these reaction zones. But when we've had a dump like that, we typically then start that downtrend. So if we're looking at Rune again, from this perspective, what happens if we push up, just like BTC? Look at that. We've got the 200-day MA in our way. We've got a 4.9 resistance band in our way. So for me, typically, we could see a situation where Rune starts just trending a little bit lower down. Okay, so we just got to be prepped for that from that perspective as well. So if you are sitting in a Rune position, 4.9 to 5 is a resistance zone. You need to be a little bit cautious there. When you reclaim these types of levels, just like I've shown you on Bitcoin, then we can say, okay, we may be turning a little bit more bullish here in this situation. But right now, we're playing it safe, okay? And you can see the picture. It's playing out. Rune, it's playing out in Sol. It's playing out potentially in ETH. And then most importantly, in BTC, you can see this picture that is currently developing here. And we just got to be safe. Okay, so just like we had this nice push up, we had this uptrend, and it was fun, big positions, riding things higher. Now we just put the brakes on a little bit. We just a little bit more caution. When there is a little bit more momentum in the market, then we ape again. Okay, it's a very simple system here. If you keep aping like you were aping last week, you might get very disappointed and very chopped up.
Can we ape the likes? Can we ape the likes though? There's no Bruce with no likes. Let's go,
guys. I'm not unleashing the legend, okay, with his Pendle setup without the right likeage, okay? And KG says Ray is floating in the clouds. The man's always floating in the clouds. What do you mean? What's different? It's just the AI picture today. Guido from Puerto Rico. What's cracking, bro? He says, yo. Okay, so W, guys, remember this wormhole situation, okay? We looked at this one, and it was a nice little spot position that we were looking at there. And, it's had some great pumpage. So what is interesting to me now is that we have broken through some interesting levels. And I don't want to give up my profits, especially considering the current conditions that we find Bitcoin in. So I'm going to be super careful with this W, this wormhole. And what I've decided to do here is if we start losing this 0.349 region, I'm going to start trimming my position. Okay, why would I trim it there? You can see this is a horizontal zone. I'd like to see this region hold, okay, on any retest. If we start losing that, then we stand the risk of, you know, a situation like that where this thing potentially starts falling over on us. So for me, this W, we've had a great pump out of this thing. It's far exceeded my expectation. We originally wanted, I think we were looking for about 18, we were looking for 31% to the highs. I mean, they gave us a pump 54% out of this thing. Okay, so you know, I don't want to give up those gains. So for me, I'm going to start cutting that and taking profits if we start losing that type of region. And then I just wanted to highlight again for you guys. Now, it hasn't quite worked on SUI. Okay, but don't let SUI be a marker for you to not pay attention to bearish divergence and things like that, okay? Because that is a real thing. And you can see it here playing out on this W as well. You can see the price is rising, okay? The price is rising. The RSI on the 12-hour is turning down, okay? So that's telling us maybe this thing is getting a little bit more tired, okay? Now, SUI is a terrible example because it's busy rinsing me out left, right, and center. And, you know, but we got to back what we know, okay? And we can see this thing is potentially tiring out. So that is why I'm taking some profits here on this W. If you are in this thing for the long haul and you are looking for way bigger things out of this, there are some interesting targets, okay? This thing can easily, for me, in the right bullish conditions, go to 0.5. Okay, so that is on the table here for us. Naturally, I want to see it hold 0.349, 0.35. Then we can send that one potentially higher. So there are upside targets for those of you that have a longer term view on this W. Let's see how it plays out. Okay, so that thing is doing its business. Okay, and then here's Phantom from yesterday, and interesting sell-off. You know, it's been pretty strong considering what has gone on in the market. If you compare Phantom to Arweave, I mean, that's disgusting. I got absolutely rinsed on Arweave. I'm going to talk to you guys about that in a minute as well. And you know, Phantom holding strong. Okay, so right now for me, we've still got our big resistance band for Phantom, 0.76. So no changes there. Okay, but I do want to show you another chart. I'm going to show you the Arweave chart because it looks pretty similar to Phantom before it fell over. Okay, so Phantom for me, big support here. We've got our 200-day moving average at 0.633. Then I've played around with these fibs. I wanted to adjust these. So I've played around from yesterday. Yesterday I was pulling a fib from these lows, but I wanted to see more tie-in on a stronger horizontal. So this is why I've highlighted here today, 0.61. 0.61 is my big zone here. If we do get a little bit more weakness now in that market, that is going to be a nice little trade that I'm going to be looking at on Phantom. So 0.61 is the downside play, and then 0.51 to 0.52. So no changes to that current situation. You can see this is a massive level for me here on Phantom. So if things really do start turning horrible, that is your go-to zone that you're going to be looking at. Yes, sir.
Sorry to disturb. Is BTC squeezing right now? What's going on here?
Oh my God. There we go. There we go. Okay, so we're going to maintain our composure. Okay, we look at the chart. Okay, so again, the simple principle, guys, is zoom out. Okay, zoom out, look where we are. Okay, my TP zone is incoming. Okay, we're looking at the 63 to 64K. That is the TP zone for me. Okay, we're not going to get caught in any traps here. If we do, like I explained, if we do start breaking these big types of levels, then we turn bullish again, and then we get excited. But for now, we're playing it safe. Okay, we got horizontals coming just around the corner. So Ray, keep us posted there on that guy. And again, look, same principle. You know, with these types of charts, you can also trade the breakouts. Okay, you know, you can trade the breakouts on the 15 minutes, the breakouts on the 1 hour, like I've been teaching you guys. But always in these types of situations, I strongly suggest that you guys zoom out, understand where we are in the bigger scheme of things, in the big picture, and then make your plan accordingly. Now, speaking of Arweave, it was my Hail Mary play for the last, to say, 10 hours of the ZoomX competition, which is now finished. Okay, so the ZoomX competition has ended. Our Whiff King that you guys met on my show, Sniper Paul, he only trades whiff. Okay, that guy won the $1,000 prize that ZoomX was kind enough to offer to the top 3 players in my team. So well done to Sniper Paul. What an absolute legend. What is Kevin Connors on about here? What is he talking about here, right? And so absolute legend for Sniper Paul, the whiff man, and he's deservedly won his $1,000 for being disciplined. He was trading 1 token, and he knows that thing very well. So ZoomX competition is over. I really enjoyed this competition. I think it was a great vibe in Sniper Club with it as well. And ZoomX have offered to do a couple more campaigns. So there's going to be some cool stuff coming out of ZoomX for us in the near future. So watch the space. And for those of you that missed out on the ZoomX comp, we'll obviously get you involved in the next one. Yes, sir.
I was just going to say, I also really like the exchange. I mean,
It's
the
a
competition was great fun, but it's a really good exchange, like NextC, etc. I was just going to say,
no, it's super.
it's now on my portfolio. I'm going to keep using it. I love it.
No, it's a banger, guys. And these exchanges that I'm using, other than say ByBit, they actually, there's no KYC on these. So, you know, some of them you might need a VPN. It depends where you are. But, you know, WeX, ZoomX, Prime XBT, there's actually no KYC on these puppies. So, yeah, have a go if you're interested. But there's going to be a new campaign and we'll do it. And speaking of competitions, well, there's another competition launching quite soon. I'm going to talk to you about that in 2 minutes, but we're going to run a big campaign in Sniper Club for it as well. So there's going to be tons of trade alpha and all these things going in for this upcoming competition. So now's also a great time if you want to get involved in Sniper Club to start getting in there and take advantage. So let's talk about 𝗪𝗡𝗡 because this thing, I mean, this thing's pretty annoying. So my current situation is I'm still sitting in an 𝗪𝗡𝗡 situation, okay, in ZoomX. Now, if I had picked Phantom, if I had picked Rune, if I had picked Brett, if I had picked fucking anything else, okay, I would have finished.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I would have finished that competition probably top 3, okay? Because I aped in everything. I was trading tiny positions and I was waiting for that last day for the Hail Mary play. I aped in everything on 𝗪𝗡𝗡, okay? If we took anything else, it would have pumped. And, you know, what did 𝗪𝗡𝗡 do? They just sold us down to $19. So if you are trading 𝗪𝗡𝗡, okay, what I do know, okay? Uncle was talking about it today. And, sorry, Fred says, if we go down to 53K, it will be bad. Fred, bro, it will be so bad. Where's that comment from? Where's that comment from Fred, bro? Bring that up. Bring that up.
Oh my gosh.
I want to read it again. Hold on. Guys. If we go down, okay.
No composure.
No, Fred, we're going to get rinsed, bro. Fred, we're going to get rinsed. Just say it how it is, okay? We're going to get rinsed if it goes down to 53K. Okay, so if you're trading 𝗪𝗡𝗡, I'm still sitting in this position, okay? So I'm not stopped out or anything. I aped everything into this on that ZoomX comp. So this is where I am. And we're sitting at 19. Okay, so 19 is your main support level. And interestingly enough, this thing came down and it pinged a 786. Okay, now 𝗪𝗡𝗡 has been a fun go-to trade for us in the past. Okay, so quite disappointing that this thing absolutely shat the bed and basically sent me to 0 there. But Uncle was saying today on the research call, fundamentally, there's nothing wrong with 𝗪𝗡𝗡𝗡. So if you're sitting in 𝗪𝗡𝗡𝗡, there's nothing to actually panic about. There just seems to be quite a big seller in the market. Okay, so if you're looking to accumulate 𝗪𝗡𝗡𝗡, we've got 2 zones for you. Okay, number 1, we can look at the current area, 19. Okay, you can see this is a big zone. We've also got tie-in with the 786. We've also got the rising trend. Then we've got a big area here, the dump lows from the 17th of September. That thing was looking bearish then. So 18, and then I've got a massive level here for you guys on 𝗪𝗡𝗡𝗡, 16.7. So any one of these, if you're accumulating 𝗪𝗡𝗡𝗡, any one of these regions, it's a banger zone, okay? And look, if you're looking for a long on 𝗪𝗡𝗡𝗡, and I'm talking like a leverage type long, like it's not responding well at the moment, okay? There's clearly a heavy seller at play, okay? So all I can suggest here after last night's drama is to, if you want to dial in here, you want to just see this consolidation, okay? You want to zoom in on lower time frames. I would rather, if I were you, I'd rather play the trend break on, say, a 1 hour. Okay, once you get some consolidation in this area, rather than try and hunt this thing now on this level, because it looks so shit the way they've sold this thing off completely. So you've got your support, and Fahad says XRP is now making fun of me. Oh yeah, fuck, it's so bad. Okay, so big support here for leverage traders. You can use the lows from today, 19. You can use the lows from yesterday's dump, 18.6. But for me, just rather look for, you know, you want to look zone in here, 1 hour, 15 minutes. You want to rather catch a breakout there on that one, okay? But this is a good sort of base level that you can start with. And Jason says, where are we going? Just got here. Jason, bro, okay, let's just summarize this for Jason. BTC lost the rising trend, okay? Potentially looking a little bit bearish. We've lost the monthly pivot. We've lost the weekly pivot. If we don't close above the 200-day MA, then we are potentially bearish for the next, could be for the next week, could be for the next 2 weeks. But I do think we end up top come the end of October.
They should also watch the show every day. Sign up to Sniper Club and follow you on Twitter so they stay up.
Very good suggestion, guys. If you want to stay up to date, really, okay, you got to watch the show every day. I come here every single day. I watch the market all day long. Okay, I watch all these coins all day long. I'm watching the market so I can tell you the story as to what is happening when you guys in America wake up. Okay, I've already worked the whole day, so I can tell you and fast track you what is going on there. And never mind what is going on in Sniper Club as well. Okay, let's talk about TON Network. So just, we haven't spoken about this token in a while, and I thought let's bring it up today. And, there's some solid intel. So Telegram has been sharing user IP addresses and phone numbers with authorities since 2018. Now, I didn't know that. Okay, that's pretty bearish, I would guess. The CEO has confirmed, okay? He's clarifying recent statements on managing criminal accounts. So I actually didn't know that. And I actually thought that Telegram was super encrypted and all these types of things, and they weren't doing that. So it's, it's interesting to see how the market is going to respond. And Ivan, thank you, bro. I'm glad you are here every day. And interesting to see how this market is going to respond now to TON, but you can see it's been pretty bearish of late, okay, since the highs and all the hype. And remember, he got arrested somewhere around here, and then they just sent this thing absolutely lower. So there's interesting areas here for TON, okay? If you are bullish on TON overall, okay, if you are, you want this to be a part of your bag for the moonshot into, this bull run that everybody is talking about leading into the end of the year, there's a couple of zones that could be interesting here. So the first one for me has got to be this 5 region. Okay, you can see that's a nice big hot zone for us. And the second one, which we've seen a lot come into play in these types of conditions, is a 786 bounce on a trend. Okay, we saw that on Bonk not too long ago. We saw it on WIF. We saw it on a lot of these altcoins here that they love. A 786 on a macro trend, funnily enough. So here is an interesting one, 4.8 on TON. If you guys want to mark these down on your charts for nice little buy zones of interest here, I suspect we could see that. If there is a little sneeze here, rejection from Bitcoin at the levels we're talking about now, if there is a rejection there, then I suspect some of these alts then start churning a little bit lower. And I'm going to show you Render and GRT because I think those entries haven't hit yet. And I think they're still coming. Okay, I think we do have a little bit more downside. So TON, just to close, 5.08, 4.8. These are your hot zones here. Okay, both of these look great to me as potential areas. Naturally, we don't want to lose this major rising trend. Okay, you can see that was from the absolute lows there. We don't want to lose that trend. Let's see how it goes down in those levels. But if you are bullish on it, that for me are good, or that for me is a decent buy area. Okay. Now, there is a new competition coming. It's starting in 10 days, okay? The World Series of Trading. Those of you, you might remember, you might have seen my first show exactly a year ago. I was asked to do a show for the World Series of Trading on a weekend. Absolutely shat myself. And but it was good. We had 10 or 15,000 viewers on the weekend there. Bruce, I don't know. You traded in that. I actually think you did. You traded in that.
But that's when David won?
No, he won the one before that.
Okay.
Yeah. He won the one. Yeah, he won the one in April or something. Anyway, so they are back. Okay, and World Series of Trading. So all you need to do, okay, it's quite simple. You're going to sign in with our ByBit link. Okay, you're going to join the Crypto Banter squad. Now, in the past, it's always been like Sheldon team and my team and the Whale team and Run's team. And now it's a full Banter team. Okay, the whole team is doing this together. So we need you, the whole community. Okay, come jump in with us, do this thing with us, and we're all going to have our own strategies. I'm going to trade on ByBit. I'll explain my strategy when the competition starts, but I'm just planning how we're going to do things. And it's a P&L competition, so you don't have to ape. Okay, it doesn't have to be massive size. We can play small positions here. We can grind them up, and we can really just get stuck into some trades. And we're going to open a separate channel in Sniper Club, and Bruce and everybody, they're going to drop trade ideas in there. And we're just going to fill that place with trade ideas. Okay, so it's going to be quite a banging situation in Sniper Club, and it's going to be quite a fun little competition. So click on the link, okay, in the description below, and it's going to send you to this.
It's in the comments.
It's in the comments as well. Okay, there's the link in the comment. But go to the show description if you're not in the comments, and take a look there. Sign up to ByBit. It's second at the top there. You click on the link. You're going to join the Banter squad. Okay, and there's a way to do it. If you have a unified trading account, for those of you that have traded on ByBit before, you understand what I'm saying. There's a unified trading account that basically uses all your spot, all your margin, everything as collateral. Okay, and what they've done here for this tournament is they can create a separate account specifically for the tournament. So it separates all those types of things. So that is what I've done. I've created a separate account here and specifically for that tournament. So it actually tells you what to do. As you click on the links, it does it for you. Just get cracking on with that. So very simple, and then tons of prizes, guys. So please join us, and we're gonna fire this shit off in Sniper Club. Naturally on the show, we're gonna give trade setups all day long. I mean, this is what I do. Look at this shit, and it's all happening here. Okay, here's two entries before we get Bruce on here to talk Pendle and my Subi short. Here's a couple of things. Okay, Render hasn't hit my big zone. Okay, and it's a little bit concerning for me that not concerning, but what it tells me is there's a good chance we're going to get another pullback in the market. Okay, and if we look at this current situation, Render did dump onto our September VWAP. Okay, very cool. Anchored VWAP hit that one. Nice little reaction off that. But look at this. Our August dump anchored VWAP is sitting here. Our 50-day moving average is sitting there. Now remember, Bitcoin has just bounced off the 50-day MA. Render hasn't. Okay, it could be a little magnet here. We've also got a 618 in play, and we've also got horizontal. So for me, this is a high conviction zone on Render, 5.33. That area for me, any dip into that zone, okay, we're going to feel super bearish, but that is what I'm looking for. Anywhere in that type of area for me on Render, 5.33, that type of zone, mark that one on your charts. I suspect that is where we get a nice little bounce. And you can see I've been playing around with these stochastics at the bottom, and sometimes it's nice to get full resets all over the place. And look at the daily. The daily hasn't reset yet. So wouldn't it make sense if this daily starts drifting lower, 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 while that price drifts lower, and then we hit that 5.33 and then we send it? Okay, so that could be something of interest for you guys. It might take a few days. Okay, it could take a week to get to that zone. And, we also could be in a situation where you get caught up in some kind of bounce pump. Okay, so we could see a little push up here and then a big rejection. So just look out for, all types of scenarios here. But 5.33, that's an entry zone for Render that I would, I'm long from there. Okay, if we hit that, I'm taking a long. Okay, the next one for me, GRT as well. We didn't quite hit our zone. So yesterday, I gave you this region here, 0.1522. Okay, we front run it. Okay, we have hit the 50-day MA. So interesting to me, but I would like to see GRT just push a little bit deeper into that 0.1522 zone. Okay, and I'm in shorted Sui. Let's go. Okay, so GRT, there's the game plan as well. Looks very similar to Render. Also, AI play and, nice little breather on AI tokens. Maybe we are going to get a bounce there. So being a little bit patient here for the higher conviction setups. Naturally, there are going to be little trend breaks and 15-minute plays and these things along the way. Okay, but right now for me, the bigger picture, 0.152, somewhere in that region for me on GRT looks relatively good. Little BTC update. Okay, so we haven't done much more since then. Okay, Bruce, do you want to talk Sui with me and why I'm getting rinsed here?
I can talk. Oh, Sui, the laws of gravity work. So what goes up,
Okay. So when we were offline, I explained my little strategy to Bruce, and I'm going to see if this is going to work. Okay. So my Sui was printing yesterday. It was fucking printing. I felt very smart. Okay. Then it just pumped straight back up. Okay. Like immediately. Okay. And we had to start the Sui short again. Okay. So here's my current strategy. Okay. Don't laugh at me, Bruce. I got a long, Sui long in play. Okay. My stop is just below entry. I want this long to pay for my short. Okay. I want this long. If this thing keeps climbing up, I've got limit sell orders set for Sui at key levels. Okay. I'm going to show you those levels now. Naturally, I don't want to get stopped out on this long. That's going to be irritating because if this thing bounces, then that strategy doesn't work. But I've got a limit order set, okay, to add to that short at 2.02. Okay. So I'm going to add to that short there. Okay. Hopefully, in theory, this long doesn't stop me out. Then the long keeps going up. If we pump higher, I'm going to have another limit order set here, 2.16. Okay. So by the time we get there, I'm going to have quite a big short relative to the long position that I have. And then I'm going to close that long. Okay. And then I'm really going to ape in on that short. And then it's up to the crypto god. So, and like I explained before, this is a problem for me. It's become an ego trade. Okay. It's no longer, it's about trying to prove myself right, which is the most dangerous thing you can do as a trader. So, it's actually quite stupid, but it's good entertainment.
It's crazy.
Okay.
I just get so confused when I'm doing the hedge trade, it's like, which is bigger, which is smaller, when do I enter, end up getting stuck on them both the up and the down.
These things, these typically become more admin than what they're worth, okay? But because I've been so adamant about the 𝗬𝗎 situation, like, I'm going to see it through for you guys, okay? So, that's my theory. I'd still like to see it at 1.4. Any pumps I want to add.
You got to remember, Dylan, that sometimes girls just got to have fun, right? So go have fun.
Yeah, I mean, look, trading's supposed to be fun. Okay, we can have fun while we're doing it. Then we're good.
That's pretty funny.
Raymond, what's happening?
It's just pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
What's happening? AI Ray, what's going on there, bro? Okay, so that is the 𝗬𝗎 game plan. Okay, so I've resigned myself to the fact that I might get rinsed again. Let's see. Okay, but guys, enjoy it. So you can see everything's oversold. I mean, overbought. Things are looking tired. At some point, if Bitcoin goes to 53K, we're making bank on the 𝗬𝗎 eventually. Okay. Okay.
I mean, look at the chart. I mean, the whole world, everything went to hell yesterday, and 𝗬𝗎 just kept on going. It's like,
and I mean, and look at Phantom. Phantom's strong as well. I mean, Phantom's done really well. Okay, so that is me in 𝗬𝗥 at the moment. Now, also another great exchange, and 𝗬𝗥 actually have updated their app. They updated it yesterday. I opened a brand new shiny app on 𝗬𝗥. No, it's incredible. It's slick. It's proper. Okay, it's the real deal. So guys, 𝗬𝗥, give it a bash as well. There's also, I mean, you know the drill. Okay, let's talk Bruce. I want to see Pendle. I want to see what you got from me here. I'm going to share your screen.
Okie dokie. Well, Pendle. I mean, I've actually been trading Pendle since right here. So, and I've been doing it in steps. So I did along there. When it came back and retested the this level right over here, bouncing off the 50-day moving average, I did it again, got out right over there at the 200-day, let it do its thing. I missed the short, which was, to me, really obvious, but it was asleep, so it didn't happen. And it, took quite a dump yesterday. It's coming right to the 382. I've already entered the trade, and I'm letting it build as it comes down. Let me zoom in so you can see it better.
Yeah.
I've got a trend line with an alert on it. And there it goes again. And as it's coming down into that 382, I'm just adding a little more to the trade, but I'm not giving it any room to screw me. So my stop loss is going to be right under that 382, right under this level, because it's about a 13% dump to the 618, which will be the next level. So if the market goes to hell in a handbasket, I'll just get out and then re-enter down here. But and then once it does break this trend line, I'll add a bit. Kind of the plan is this: if it does pump up, I'll add a little bit more, let it retest, and then if it breaks this trend line, then I'll add the full position to ride it up. But if it loses this here, I'll be out.
Okay, so just so everyone can hear, what is your entry zone there? What is the number, and what is your stop loss number?
Yeah, entry zone. Let me get rid of this so you can see it. Entry zone's anywhere right about here. So it's about 3.86 in general. Exit right now is at 3.68. Wait, did I read the number right? Hold on, let me read that again. Dyslexic. 3.8586 is entry. So right in the zone right here. And exit is right now at 3.67.
Okay, 3.67.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I did notice that all the oscillators also printed a buy signal right there. This is cipher B, but the MDX one, all the others, have all printed buy signal right there.
Okay, so you've got a little bullish print there at the bottom of your oscillator too. Okay, so that's quite interesting. Yeah. So there could be something teeing up here, guys. Pendle fans. I'm a fan of Pendle. Got some spot of this puppy.
Me too.
Yeah, I think it's a banger. So nice trend, nice horizontal, nice 382 oscillator talking to you. So there's a little bit of confluence there that this thing could bounce.
And when the market was bouncing, I didn't think it was going to come back to the trend line. But the way it always seems to work is something in the world happens, and prices come back to where they belong, which is right at that 382 and right at that trend line. So, again, we don't know that the other shoe hasn't dropped with the Middle East situation. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get another reaction. But for right now, this is looking good from a TA perspective.
Okay. Banger, guys. So, there's Bruce the legend. If you want some more of this sweet stuff, you find this man in Sniper Club. He's all there all day doing his thing.
All day long, every day.
Sometimes we let him sleep, occasionally. But
thanks for letting me out of my cage. I was getting lonely.
Okay, Bruce, what a banger. Okay, so find him in Sniper Club. There's a link in the show description there. He's running the show there. He's a legend. Okay, Bruce, see you later. Let's go. Let's talk Injective. Okay, so here's Injective update for you guys. Same look to all of these things, like Rune. Same look to, ETH. Same look to Sol at the moment. So you can see we've dumped into an interesting zone. Similarly, we hit that anchored VWAP, just like we've seen on some of the other tokens. We hit the September dump anchored VWAP. Okay, so that is a nice big marker for us there that we can add. And remember, the anchored VWAP, very simple. You just go to the left-hand side on TradingView. Okay, go down to anchored VWAP. You can click, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the top on TradingView. Okay, go down to anchored VWAP. Okay, and you want to drop it on the 15-minute candle, preferably at the lows. Okay, whenever we had our lows from that move. This one was on Wednesday, the 4th of September. So you can drop it there at those lows, and that should give you a nice little guide. So there it is, banging off 20, which is now your support band that you're going to be watching for Injective. And very simple Injective game plan here. This is our resistance. You can see we're struggling here at 22. Okay, that is a big zone. So we've got work to do. Okay, we turn bullish again when we start claiming those types of levels. Right now, for me, expecting a rejection. And then maybe we start looking lower again. So Injective traders, your big support here is 20 for now. Your resistance, 22.5. Let's break above that. Then we can get euphoric and excited and do all those things again when that happens. Now, SUI is hot. Okay, so what goes with SUI? Cetus. Okay, there's a DEX, decentralized exchange, okay, on SUI called Cetus. This thing's looking super bullish. This is Cetus on the daily, and this was a request in the comments from you guys yesterday. Remember, just drop the tokens in the comments after the show. Ray looks at them, he sends them to me, and I incorporate them. Okay, so here's Cetus for you guys. So on the daily, this thing is looking pretty bullish. I have identified a target here for you guys if we do blow through this big horizontal band. So if we can crack through 0.205 on the Cetus, then for me, 32 is the next logical step. Okay, but we've got to get there first. We've got tons of work to do. And how do we get there? Well, you could look at something along these lines. So this is Cetus now on the 1 hour. Okay, and I've broken this down into a degen type play for you guys. And there's a couple of hot zones here that we can start playing around with. Okay, so hot zone number 1, 0.179. Okay, that is our hot zone number 1 that we can look at. Hot zone number 2, 0.1746. Okay, so these are your potential bullish zones. These are the potential zones that give you this little bounce into the next area. Okay, so this is where you want to be shopping around these types of things. Let's just see the size of this potential stop. So if you're looking at building a position here at 0.179 down to 0.175, okay, that could be an interesting one. That's going to give you about 3% risk. So ideally, how you want to play it here is to see, you can ladder in a little bit in this zone over here, okay, a little bit over here. Then you can ladder in a little bit over there, and that will decrease your stop risk. Okay, so the lower you can get it, the better. And you can see we've got confluence in this region, 0.1746. Okay, and then if we start closing under that position, this gets invalidated. Okay, and I explained it yesterday. Invalidated means you fucked it up. Okay, you got it wrong, and it's as simple as that. And that is how you can spot if a trade is invalidated. So here we'd be losing the rising trend. Okay, so here's our rising trend. That will be offering support. What else do we have? We've got horizontals offering support. We've got a 618 fib offering support. If we lose that area, then we're done. Okay, and Cetus starts rolling over and going down. Okay, and then we start looking at levels lower down. Then we zoom in on the bigger picture and we go from the lows to the highs. We pull our fibs, and then we start identifying where are the hot zones that Cetus could potentially dump to. Okay, so if the market turns super bearish, where can this thing come to on the higher time frame? And that for me, 0.138. Okay, look at that. We've got, oh, this is so nice. Look at that. Wow, that is a hot zone. Okay, so degens, if your degen play doesn't work, 1 hour breakout, okay, that is your next play. Very simple game plan, and you're going to target the upside there. So there's a nice big move potentially there for you on Cetus. So option 1, degen play to try and catch the ticket to the big prize at the end. Option 2, the market melts down. Where do you get an entry? 0.138. Okay, that's a hot zone there. So any type of little weakness into that zone, I would most likely expect some kind of reaction there, some kind of bounce. Okay, so nice tie in here on horizontals as well. Nice little region there for me on 𝗙𝗢𝗔, and then a very simple exit plan. You start closing under that type of zone, then you're jumping out of the position. It's as simple as that as you carry on. Okay, then we've got okay, so 𝗙𝗢𝗟 we've dealt with. These are your two potential degen zones right here, okay, for that move higher up. Then we've got move pump. Now, somebody asked me to look at this as well. Remember Sun Pump on Tron? Okay, remember Pump.Fun on Sol? Now, this is Sui. If you want to trade Sui shitcoins, here it is. Move Pump on Sui. Okay, so I haven't gone into this. I haven't bought any shitcoins yet. I'm just planting the seed, okay, because if Sui's here to stay, we got to look at some of these shitcoins. Okay, so I'll be looking at some of these in the next week or so. Okay, I just got to do some more research here. I got to know which ones we actually need to be buying first, and then we can play a game on this move pump. So Sui fans, move pump is the Sui pump.fun. Essentially, that is where you are looking for some action. And then one more chart for you guys. Super. I gave this to you yesterday. Okay, on that meltdown, and first zone has been hit. Now, Super has been a really bullish gaming token for us, and you can see the strength. It's still holding well, like Sui, like Phantom, like a lot of these tokens. You kind of want to play the strength on the pullbacks, okay, not like 𝗬𝗢𝗟𝗪, which looks like absolute dog shit at the moment. So Super looking good, and it hit our zone that I gave you yesterday, 0.975, and that came in pinged really nicely. Now it remains to be seen, you know, how this thing is going to play out, but at least you have a support marker that you can use for now, 0.975. If we do get some more weakness in the market, you know the zone. I gave it yesterday, 0.843. Okay, that is your next big zone. That is a big reaction zone there for me on Super. But as far as Super is concerned, we've got our rising trend in play. All is well. Okay, nothing to be bearish here, or nothing to be bearish about just yet. And okay, let's see. JMo's in the house. What's up, bro? Okay, so let's see BTC. Let's just take a look where we are, and look, we haven't quite hit our target region. Okay, so we're just going to be a little bit patient here. Let's just see what this little rejection candle ties in with. Let's just put a horizontal here. Bang. Okay, so there is a horizontal here, guys. Okay, so I mean, we can be aware of this. This is a potential rejection zone here for BTC. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually just going to close this. We're just going to bank that. Okay, bang, done. Okay, so we've closed BTC there at resistance. It can go higher, yes, exactly like I've said. That's a hot zone there for me that we can watch, 63 to 64. I'd be very cautious up there, okay? If you are holding longs into that region, altcoins, all these things, just be safe up there, okay? TP zone that you want to keep your eyes on.
Nicely
yes, sir.
Played, sir. Nicely played. Nicely played.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, guys, that is it. We are done. Okay, 1 hour. Jeez, these shows are getting long. Okay, if you like the long show, let me know in the comments. If you want shorter, sharper alpha, let me know in the comments. And you guys, if you want 20-minute shows, I'm sure I can make a plan. Okay, but they'll be less fun. We'll laugh less. Okay, cool. So you got your plan, you got your levels. I'm back tomorrow. Let's see how we go. And yeah, catch you guys later.
Yo, guys, refresh and drop your comments, please, before I get liquidated.